So we get to see me going live for the first time, and you get to see me figuring out why I can't get the correct camera. So this is like real life here. You guys can tell this is not scripted because here's my hand with blue paint on it, and it never occurred to me it wouldn't let me use my normal camera. Well, this is great fun. Huh, there's like no choices here. So now I look, customization. Huh. Um, well, I found other things. Well, we'll delete this if it looks too awful. That is an interesting problem to not be able to get the right camera. Well, you know what we're going to do? Let's see if we can get this camera. Ooh, I'm upside down. Ha, there we go. When in doubt, switch to the other camera. So, just so you know it's a real live. And now we know something to figure out for next time is why it won't let me use the correct camera. But here we go. Now we're actually live, not on the good camera, not with the good lighting, but we are here. And super simple dosage calculation is Nurse Jill. So I'm so excited that she's here with us. And yeah, those of you who are here, we're doing our first ever live, which is basically like figuring out how to do a live. So I'm a doctor. And while technology is something I grew up with, this is not my native land. But I did start using the internet as a kid, back before most people knew it existed, because both my dad and my stepdad were more tech side of things. So I feel like I should have figured this out by now. But here we are. So we're doing this live this week as a practice for future lives, because this summer we have a very fun plan for everyone, because we're going to be doing summer camp. So summer camp is something that I never got to do, at least in the way that I see other people could do camp, where they like go, I don't know, what kind of summer camp activities are there? Like leather work or beading or like bow and arrow or whatever. And it looks like a lot of fun. So we're going to do a science summer camp, but it's going to be all about the projects and having fun with those. And so part of that is we're going to be doing a live kickoff event where we're going to be doing a giveaway. We're going to be doing weekly lives, Jill and me, because why not? And so that's kind of our plan for this summer. But we wanted to do one that we didn't announce ahead of time. So this is a surprise. We're doing a live because we figured we didn't want to make a big build up to it and then have like this issue where I don't have my right camera because I can't figure out how to choose a different camera on Zoom Lives. So we'll have that figured out by next time, because this is my weird little document camera. And this is Tina. Come here, Tina. This is my cat. And my sweetheart. She chooses a different place to be on any particular day. Hi, Tina, I know. And then everywhere else, we call it lava, because she's a very anxious kitty. I know. Don't bump my microphone. Nobody wants to hear that. I know. You're so sweet. We call it lava because she's a very anxious cat. She's a special needs kitty that we foster adopted. And she's scared of a lot of things. She owns a bunch of sweaters because sweaters help her not be anxious. So I've knit her a bunch of handmade sweaters. I should post a photo of that sometime. Not super sciencey, but we got it. And yeah, so right now my office is not lava, so we get a visiting kitty. So now that at least I've got, I think, my mic. Someone says in the chat if they can hear me. That would. Oh, you said hi, Tina. So hopefully that means that you heard me say her name. So we have the mic. We have not a great camera because my main camera I can't seem to connect to. But now that we're working, you can put your questions in the chat, and I'm happy to talk about summer camp or plans, things that we're doing. At the moment, Nurse Jill and I are hard at work making a manual of all the projects. So our plan is all the projects that are going to be in the whole summer camp going to be in the manual. And then we're going to be, in I think 2 weeks, sending out that first part of the manual with all the supply lists and everything, so that you'll have what you need in order to get prepared. Because if you're a mom like me, or a grandma or a dad or uncle or older sibling or teacher or whoever you are, librarian, you may want to get the supplies ahead of time. And so we'll get that out to you before camp starts. And then this summer, sorry, I have a cat here just like climbing all over me. I know, you're so good. then the summer, it's going to be all at your own pace. Because I don't know about you, but my summer is crazy. Um, and it's also like there's the relaxed parts where there's nothing scheduled, but then also like one of my kids is doing a survival skills camp, followed by a chamber music camp, and then a few weeks of nothing, and then a 7-day wilderness trip, and then and then a theater camp, and then another chamber music camp. So lots of just random stuff that those weeks we're not doing anything other than camps probably because it's going to be lots of depending wilderness, no no internet access there. I'm assuming I'm going to be comfortably at home. That's my husband's problem. But chamber music camp and theater camp, lots of practicing at home or learning parts or things like that. So no other responsibilities. So summer camp is designed for whatever's going on in your life. So do it when it works for you. And if you want to stack it all in one week, well, you can't possibly. There is way too much to do in one week. I dare you to try to do it in a week. So maybe you pick a few things to do one week and then a few things to do another week. But you can do it on your schedule. And then at the end of the summer, it all disappears. So that's we our fun summer thing, June 1st through August 31st, and gone. And then we can get serious and do the school year. So let's see here. I'm just checking the chat here. Yep, summer camp sounds great, doesn't it? Excellent. So that's our plan for the summer. We released the design. So the design is going to be vintage camp. So it's really cute, like watercolor vintage pictures that they make it fun. I think it's more fun to use something pretty. And so it's one of the fun things with getting to be like a part of something like this is we can choose how pretty we want it to be. And this summer it's going to be vintage camp. So pretty, but not like girly pretty, like campy pretty. So that'll be fun. And then in the fall, we have new stuff coming out too before the fall. So we're working on that also. So just lots of new things here, which one reason we're doing the lives is so we can be announcing new things as they come up. And then also just talking about projects, answering any questions that you may have about doing projects, because I have obviously done all of them since I designed them. Some of them are the same as you'll see other people have done online, but a lot of them I completely invented myself. And so you're not going to find anyone else with instructions on how to do it because I made it. So one of the fun things being me, my mom was an art teacher. Well, she went to art school. And then instead of becoming a professional artist, she thought she was going to be a professional artist and live in the California redwoods in a cabin and keep goats. So at 19, that was her plan. And then said she married my dad and she had 2 kids. And so that put a damper on that whole live in the woods with goats and make art plan. But as the oldest and first child of hers, I got a lot of, she designed my whole wardrobe. I looked like a little child from a like a Mother Goose book or something. She designed everything. I have all these books of her drawings of my clothes that she designed. So I was very cute dressed. And then I had my sister came after me. So she was fairly cute dressed. And then there were 4 brothers and that was it. Like it became survival after a while. So, but we did a lot of arts and crafts at home. And she would take us to art museums and critique art or teach us about like the pearls would reflect like the liveliness of someone or like the symbolism that was put in different things and all the kind of arts history stuff. So when I sat down to do science, I put a lot of crafts into it too. Here in the chat says that reminds you of a lovely watercolor book. Yeah. We have badges like we did last year through the summer. That's a great question. So last year we did badges. This year it's going to be more focused on the projects, but we are going to have some, the one reason we're going live is to have some surprises and some giveaways and some other things. So we'll be announcing more as we get further into it. And then this is our first year doing camp, but our plan is to do it again next year and we'll try new stuff. So this year we're going to get looking for feedback on the different fun things we do and then whatever's most popular or whatever people want more of. Next year we can do more and we'll do a new design next year too. So next year we'll do a different design. And of course, if everyone hates camp, which why would you hate camp? Then we'll do something more fun, but I cannot think of anything more fun than summer camp. That's the fun thing about owning my own business. I can be like, oh, we're going to do this thing. And then if it doesn't work, we do something else. But this one I'm feeling really good about. Like badges were fun. Lots of people really enjoyed the badges, but that was a lot more structured work for people, I think, than most families want to do in the summer. So a lot of people would like pick and choose specific things. So rather than present it to you as a big badge, we're presenting it to you as a menu for picking and choosing and for just having fun. Like summer is supposed to be a relaxed time with your family, but of course you want to sneak in some learning too, because that's a significant chunk of the year. Like my kiddos homeschool, mostly so that they can, well, both so I can meet their educational needs and so they can do all their activities. So like my son right this minute is at ballet. So he's a pre-professional at the professional ballet here. And so he doesn't have time for school. He's there all day, every day, basically. And then my younger child is a really avid scout with Scouting America and goes on like wilderness trips and campouts, and they're canoeing tomorrow night and just all sorts of things. So again, wouldn't have time for school and that, and then is also very passionate about violin. So practicing like an hour or two every day, oftentimes. So altogether, school is really important, but we also don't have time for it. But they just finished. Well, my older child, nothing in person, but all of his friends just finished their finals week. I think this week, or is it next week? And he has right around here. My younger child just finished their first week or their last week of their homeschool options program through the public school this week. So here it is middle of May, and then they don't go back until September. So we're looking at June, July, August, like over a quarter of the year. So that's why it's so important in the summer, even though it's like fun and relaxed, that's over a quarter of the year. And what's interesting is I've been teaching kids internationally since 2020. And most countries, they don't do that. And so it's interesting as United States kids, when they hear that other kids get like 2 weeks off for summer, they're just like stunned. Like they feel it's your right to have several months off. But in reality, kids lose a lot of ground. So we don't want to be doing that. I'm just checking here. So, oh, good. So Jill is handling things in the chat too. Thank you, Jill. Again, this is why we're doing a practice run this time, so that we can figure out the logistics here. And the camera. I can't believe how dark that is. Oh, well, it's fine. And you can see a big old reflection there from the camera. There's my hand, or not from the camera, from the light, because I have a light over there to try to brighten it up a bit. So, yeah, with kids out of school for a whole quarter of the year in the United States, doing something fun in the summer that also gets them like learning and active, I think is so important. So that's why we're doing summer camps. You have fun, you learn something. And a lot of these aren't just like, wow, look how cute, it does a thing. It's actually like learning. So like when you do the models of white blood cells, you're making white blood cells and you're going to learn all the different types of white blood cells. But also they're like a really fun project. And you make like little germs and make white blood cells, and you can make a blood model and just like all the things so that you're having fun and then you're learning. And then you can also sneak in a little extra learning by having your kids show them to people. So like when grandma and grandpa come visit, they can demonstrate their models and act out the entire whatever it is they're doing. I do a lot of that with grandma is, hey grandma, don't you want to see this thing that the kids did? It's also how we get a little bit extra practice performing for a younger child with the violin. So we're holding a drawing. There we go. Let me see what this says. For every picture that you send in, your child will receive an entry for the drawing of a $10 Amazon gift card. All right, there you go. Jill said it, and Jill is in charge of these things. So that is awesome. And I love, so my aunt, they run all that stuff. So I don't have to worry about that. They will make sure that everyone gets an entry and that your child has an opportunity to win a $10 Amazon gift card. On my end, I just love seeing all of them because I put so much into this program. And being able to see what the kids do is just so much fun. Like it totally makes my day when I see whether it's the projects or the coloring or just cute things kids say, or when they go to like science museums and they know all the answers to like, science activity quizzes or whatever. So it just totally makes my day that kids are learning so much and loving science. So we are coming here at the end of our first ever live. And now I have some troubleshooting we're going to be doing for the next one. And I'm looking forward to seeing everyone at the first real official live, which is what we'll be doing next time, I think, if that's what they say we're doing. So good to see everyone, and I'll see you next time. Bye.